Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for subscribing if you already have and supporting my channel. If you haven't, please do. I create shorts that are cute, hopefully, and funny and emotional, and I also create real videos, and this is a real talk video on Wednesday and how we decided her little story and her journey as to how she became one of our cats. This is our most recent cat. Let's see if you can see her a little bit more. She is our most recent cat and that we have adopted. We recently, about 8 months ago, I think now, lost Simba, which you also probably may have seen those journeys, or the journey of Simba, which has a series of 4. She may want to come back up here. I don't know. Come in. A series of 4 little shorts that go through, his special needs and his celebration of life. When we lost Simba, Echo actually was bonded to Simba, and unfortunately she started to grieve him a lot and get bored and crave our attention, and we give plenty of attention. We play with all of our cats on a regular basis, but she was just extra sad, extra needing more attention than we could give because we work from home, and it's not that easy to give attention to the cat 24/7. So we ended up needing to consider adopting a new cat that maybe she would bond with again and she would be less grieving. So we did that, and we looked around. Before we got Wednesday, we looked around a little bit and tried to find someone that would fit, and the one that would fit Echo's personality specifically. So Echo really liked other cats. We didn't think that would be a problem. But we also wanted a cat with that would bond with, Echo, so that we could reduce that boredom, sadness. So when we looked at one of our shelters nearby, we saw that there was a cat there that it was very shy, timid, very extremely fearful. If you tried to walk up to her, the Wednesday in the shelter, she would have ran. She would have hissed, possibly anything to not get anywhere near humans. When she had to get her vaccines every year, or every 3 years, they would have to trap her with one of those things that trap just to get her shot. So we decided that was the right cat for us because she was social with other cats and fearful of us, but we thought, that's a great chance for us to give her some time to get comfortable, bond with Echo, and maybe Echo could balance her and figure out that, humans aren't so bad. Interesting enough, once we brought her home, which I was not able to pet her at all, I would not be able to get close to her in the shelter. This is a picture from the shelter here. And instead, we just let them trap her and put her into a carrier that we brought home. And it was the first day. Within the first 24 hours, 2 things happened. One, she started to let me pet her, though I was kind of nervous. I stayed around her, but I brought Echo in to this little room, actually this room that we're in here now, and I brought Echo in, but I didn't let them touch each other because I wanted to get Wednesday vetted and make sure that she didn't have anything contagious or anything like that before I got them together. So I brought her in, and as soon as I brought Echo in, you see that Chester door behind there? Wednesday comes out of that, and because that's where she was hiding, and starts purring and coming up against my leg. And that was the first time she really interacted with a human. So I let Echo out, and then Wednesday was still in her purring mood. So I didn't go to try and pet her, but I let her come up to me and just rub up against my arm. it was from that day on, she started to earn a little bit more trust. And eventually she's what you saw here earlier. I can pet her. I can pick her up. Granted, I don't want to pick her up for too long. She gets scared. She gets stressed. I don't want to do that to her. But it was also on that first 24 hours that I noticed when she did walk, she tumbled a little. She tripped. She wobbled. And that is what made us take her to the neurologist to kind of get an idea of what might be happening. So I was hoping, I don't know why, but I was hoping it was CH. And for those who are not familiar with that, it's often called the Wobbly syndrome, Wobbly cat syndrome. It's non-progressive. It's one of those. But when I did take her to the neurologist, the thought from what she saw was that it looked more spine related than brain related, and potentially anything from a brain tumor to, a spine tumor, to a slip disc, could have been born with it. Any one of those, past trauma, anything could have been the case, and it could have still been progressive. It may not have been. We weren't sure. It actually put a lot of fear into us because we were worried she was going to become paralyzed. And then we're like, well, how are we going to treat that? What is that going to mean? She's down here meowing, wanting more treats. I do not plan to give her any right now because she's already had enough. So, we weren't ready to, we needed to wait a couple paychecks before we could pay for the whole MRI, and the deal, which included an ultrasound and also x-rays and basically a whole workup. But we did find that she had some bad teeth. Looked like it was also trauma. Actually, not just looked like. When we took her to the veterinary dental place, they took out some of her teeth, and then when they assessed it, they said she had some past trauma from a year or more, which has led to a very severe infection in her mouth, which is why they had to remove her teeth. So that was done before we actually had the MRI, and she healed from that, and then we were able to pay for the MRI as well, which was just this last week. We actually had the answers from the MRI alone by the day of MRI day, but I still was waiting on another result before I was able to make the short and reveal what we learned. So with the MRI, we found nothing. It was completely normal. There was no problem with that, which is the best possible news that we could have had, because that means from an injury perspective, it was non-progressive. So amazing, right? Like that's the best answer that we could come up with, or could have. We were waiting on the spinal tap, the test of the cytology of the fluid that's from the spinal fluid, and so to check for meningitis, and that came back as it was fine. So that's when I made the short and I revealed it to all of you. Let's see what else. That's the main story about her. We've only had her for a couple months, so there's not a whole lot other than, she's one of the fastest cats I've ever seen, despite the fact she will always be wobbly and that she tips over, and it's cute. It's cute because it's non-progressive and it doesn't hurt her. They definitely both concluded that she was likely hit by a car or something pretty traumatic. Hopefully no human intentionally hurt her or anything, but we don't know her history before she was brought to the shelter. So I'm glad it hasn't broken her spirit. She looks, she's amazing. She loves treats. She's the one that's always not shy to the camera. I know she's not there right now, but that's because I'm out of treats. So anyway, I want to thank you so much again for supporting my channel. I'm considering doing some live streaming. Leave a comment if that would be fun for you. We could do some Q&A for special needs or any other things with living with cats or living with special needs cats. I plan to do another video like this with all of my other cats, or well, my current other cat, Echo, and then some of the other ones that have already passed on.
She wants to walk
with that
camera.
And I understand that sometimes these videos aren't the best.
It might actually be a cute shot, though.
For all viewers, and that's okay. You can skip these and keep watching the shorts. For those who like to get a little more info about my cats and what they're like, and if you need any information or help with treatment, self-treatment with the vet's advice, but things like testing your cat at home, providing sub-Q fluids as needed, if they're in kidney failure with the recommended vet amount and all of that, just pop me a comment and let me know. I'm happy to do more videos on anything you think would be helpful. And that's it for today. So thanks so much again for listening, and hope to see you soon. Bye.